welcome back to the Modern Farming Podcast sponsored by the Green Team Foundation. Now, you might be wondering why you're seeing a different face than you usually do from Mr. Chris and Miss Tara. That is because I am your special guest podcast host today. My name is Maralee Thompson, and I'm Miss University of Florida 2026, but I'm also the social media manager for the Green Team Foundation. And today, we are at the FFA State Convention with our lovely friend Tiffany, and she is an FFA, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her experience and why we should all consider joining.
So my experience started freshman year when I got into FFA by trying to get out of art class. So no one in my family has joined FFA ever, and so when I joined it, I was met by one of my former advisors where she was just like, I need an extra person for forestry competition. So I joined in not knowing nothing about trees. I just knew trees grow from the ground. And I joined by learning how there's so many different types of trees, and then it kind of grew from there where she advised me to join the officer team. So then my sophomore year, I joined the officer team as historian, which I've grown more into a leader, which I used to be shy talking in front of people and stuff. So then I just grew as a leader and also a supporter of ag, and I love to support agriculture. And then this past year, my junior year, I served as the vice president of my chapters team, and I learned a lot more about leading a full team and stepping up into even higher roles. And now this upcoming year, I'm serving as my class president.
That is so exciting. So you're serving as president now. What are your plans for your senior year and your year as president?
So my plans for my senior year and year president is just to go and try to gain as many members as possible so that they can experience the love for FFA and agriculture as I can. And then for senior year, I'm planning to apply to college to become an agriculture education teacher to give back to the students that my teachers gave back to, like me.
I know all of you have a different project, and some of you have multiple projects. So what is your project for this year?
My project for this year is just to be more open and doing more community service. As being president, I feel like I want to reach out to my 2 local middle schools and just like show my love and support and be a mentor towards them.
So how do you think that FFA has prepared you for your future, whether it's a skill you learned or a occupation that you learned about that now you're interested in?
Agriculture has prepared me for the future and the FFA as just being vulnerable and being able to speak up in front of people, because in middle school I was homeschooled, so I had that shy version of myself, and just being able to step up into leadership and learning to speak up in front of people and voice my opinions has really helped me to shape me into the leader I am today.
How do you think that your opinion of agriculture has changed from the beginning of you being involved in FFA to now?
I think in the beginning, I was really just in it to be able to get out of school and stuff. Seeing it now, the school you miss is to better your education. And I feel like if you're in FFA and agriculture, you're most likely going to go into some type of career that has agriculture related. So it betters me for the future and all. And it's changed my perspective of agriculture is more than just an organization and a club. It's like the way that we all survive off of.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
I live by the motto from my grandma, always reach for your dreams because you never know where it can lead you. And through that, I say your dreams can be as easy as just joining an organization or a club and then seeing where that can take you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Tiffany.
Thank you.
We are here with our agriculture essay contest winner. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Bimini. I'm 12 years old, and I'm in the Alpata Flats FFA chapter.
So what is your project this year?
I'm doing the Florida State Fair, the St. Lucie County Fair, and then the Indian River County Fair. So I'm doing a steer, goats, chickens, and breeding cows.
So out of all of the animals that you're showing this year, which one's your favorite?
Probably just in the cattle realm, towards the breeding more. I'm currently showing registered Brahman.
Tell me a little bit about your experience in FFA. This is your first year.
Yes.
How are you enjoying it so far?
I've been enjoying it so far. I've competed in prepared public speaking, and I got third for that. and I just got elected vice president for our officer team next year.
What are you looking forward to next year? Are you changing anything up? Are you showing anything different?
I'm hoping I can show something through our chapter. I would like to show a rabbit if I could.
Have you attended any of the workshops this week at FFA?
It was about majors in agriculture, where we did research, and then we went up to, there was groups, and we went up to a different group who did a different job, and we exchanged information. Looking forward to the workshops and the events. I'm hoping to watch our officer team this year compete for OCC. They actually made it to the finals, so I'm interested in seeing how they place.
Very cool. We're here with Lauren and Ava, and they're going to share a little bit with us about their FFA experience. So why don't you both tell us a little bit about yourselves?
My name is Lauren Schneider. I spent the last year as president of the Riverview FFA chapter. And so I do a lot of public speaking. I've shown pigs, sheep, chickens, a lot of different stuff. I like working with other clubs a lot, so that's one of the big things I've focused on.
This past year I served as our chapter's vice president, and I joined in freshman year as a way to just find a club to get me more interested in school and to find a way to be more active. And my personal favorite part of FFA has been participating in CDEs, and I've really enjoyed participating in poultry and environmental science.
We've done a lot of CDs together. We do a lot.
So how do you think your year as a chapter officer was different from when you were a member?
So I'm probably the wrong person to ask that, because I started FFA freshman year and was an officer freshman year, and I've been an officer since. So I've never had just the member experience other than our county has a federation, and I've done 1 year as an officer for it, and then I've done the other 3 as a member. So I can say it from the county perspective, but from the school perspective, I've never been just a member. But I really do feel like the confidence levels I have compared to freshman year, if you told me I would do public speaking competitions for fun, I probably would have died on the spot.
When I was a member, I used to be especially really shy, and I remember being uncomfortable,
Yes.
even going to meetings or being called to stand up in a meeting and get recognized and stuff. So I think I've really grown a lot. And being vice president, just the way, even just in OCC, I've definitely grown a lot in being able to speak and everything in front of everyone.
So what do you think is the biggest skill that you've learned from FFA?
Well, related to leadership, I would definitely say speaking skills.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, even just OCC, just being comfortable standing in front of people and memorizing a part, or just being able to work with different people is really, I think that will help me a lot in my future.
I'd say similar, but I do exempt a lot. So one of the things I learned how to do was connect with people, even if you don't really know a lot. FFA has helped me a ton with that, because I came from a very, very small middle school, 16 kids. So being exposed to something like this, state convention, there is more people than I would have ever met otherwise, and being able to connect with lots of people and find something in common and be able to start a conversation and talk to someone and explain what you're doing to them in a good way is something that FFA's definitely helped me do.
So I know we're at the state convention this week. What are you looking forward to getting out of this convention?
A little bit selfish, but it's one of the only times I can see some of the people I know from FFA. I've met them at shows, met them at previous state conventions, so there's friends I have in FFA that I never get to see in person otherwise, and it's good to be able to catch up and discuss. I take a lot of ideas home here that I hear from other people with their chapter. We've changed a lot of stuff based on, this worked really well for them, and so things we hear in workshops from other chapters, like this chapter told me an idea they had on how they run CDs, and I was like, I love that. I should suggest that to our chapter when we get back. So definitely talking to people about how things are going with their chapters is my favorite.
I'm definitely most excited to meet new people, because our chapter is actually a bit smaller, and I think it's great to expand the people that we maybe inform about our chapter or give us ideas to help us build our own chapters.
I would say give FFA a chance, even if you feel like you won't fit in at all. I mean, I live in a giant neighborhood, just 20 minutes of houses, and no one would expect I would have gotten as far as I did in an FFA with that, president of a chapter. So I'd say just give it a chance, even if you don't think you'll fit in right away. You might be surprised.
I would say don't be afraid to try new things and go outside of your comfort zone and try to meet as many people as you can. My favorite project would probably be my participation in the Strawberry Festival plant show and sale. It was a really great opportunity for me to also do some kind of networking and public speaking to try to auction my plants off to strangers.
One of my favorites is I took some of my silky chickens to a local school the one I actually went to middle school at, and talked with kids all day and stuff and helped them learn some things about agriculture, let them see live animals. So like I said, big suburban area, a lot of these kids had never seen a chicken before, so it was a good learning experience for them, and I love working with kids on stuff like that. So
Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Hannah. I'm going in the 7th grade. I am showing a market lamb, and on my officer team, I am chaplain. I'm Harper. I'm going into 7th grade, and I'm chapter Delta Middle, and I'm showing a market lamb.
I'm Cecilia. I'm going to the 7th grade, and I am showing a breeding lamb.
So, out of all of the FFA projects that you've done, what has been your favorite so far?
I'd probably say my sheep too, because I showed a pig last year, and it's just a new experience with the sheep, and it's been really fun so far. So I'd say my sheep.
I'd say sheep so far too. What are you looking forward to in this next year, being an officer?
Being able to help more people, and if somebody needs help, they can come up to me.
I'm looking forward to meeting the new 6th graders and trying to get them more involved in FFA.
I'm excited to help people. So I am here with Azaria. She's going to share a little bit about her FFA experience. So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, so my name is Azaria Baptiste. I currently attend Vanguard High School. I've been a part of FFA for about 4 to 5 years now. I started my 7th grade year, and I'm preparing to be a senior. Mainly what I do with an FFA, my main project is pigs. I show pigs. This year I'm showing my chapter steer. I also do extemporaneous speech. I do prepared speaking. And pretty much, I'm also a community service type person. So anything where I'm able to help back and give back to my community, I take the opportunity to do it.
So tell us a little bit about your projects. I know you compete in a lot of different opportunities. What is your favorite?
I'm going to take the time to focus on my swine projects. The main reason why is because that's what got me into FFA. That's what started me off. Whenever I first started agriculture in general, I had no clue about it whatsoever. But my agriculture teacher I had, shout out to Miss Rowe. We love Miss Rowe. But she pushed me to show the chapter pig. I was very scared. And I learned something about FFA is that it's always going to push you outside of your comfort zone. I ended up showing my 8th grade year, and even though I didn't place or anything, I knew that was something I loved and I wanted to keep going with it. It also taught me a lot of lessons. It taught me that I couldn't always win. My 10th grade year, my pig didn't make weight, and Lord, it didn't go the best. I'm not even going to lie. I felt very discouraged. I wanted to give it all up. But it's also something I learned with FFA is you have a support group, you have a system, you have a family around you even when you don't realize it. There were so many people, they wouldn't let me give up. They just wouldn't let me stop. Even when I wanted to, they kept pushing. But I realized this year all paid off. My pig ended up placing in her class. Not only did she place in her class, she did really good at show. I was really proud of her. And not only that, before I did chapter projects and I was always sponsored. So I never got to go through my own project fully through by myself. This was the first project I paid for entirely by myself and made it all the way fully to the end. It shows me endurance. It shows me to stay reliable. It shows me to trust in myself and to always remember there's somebody believing in you even when you don't realize it. There's always going to be somebody there.
Absolutely. Congratulations, by the way. That's so exciting.
Thank you.
So what do you think the biggest, I know you talked about this a little bit, the life lessons that you've learned in FFA. What do you think the biggest skill that you've learned is in FFA that's going to help you in the future?
You can't always win. You can't always win, but you can't always quit too. I realized that there's a lot of situations where I feel like I failed or I let a lot of people down around me, but I had just because I feel that way doesn't mean that everybody around me feels that way. And you have to learn from your mistakes in order to get better. If you mess up one time and accept that, that's where you fail. That's where you give up right there. But instead of doing that, I realized I may cry, I may be upset, but it's all about how I recover from that. I don't like to dwell on my mistakes. I like to learn from my mistakes so I can move forward onto my future. I feel like one of the biggest lessons is that you have to look forward to the future. You can't focus on your past because you're currently in your present. Every decision you make in your present, it basically decides your future.
So I know you mentioned a lot about your community service, and you're talking a little bit about it earlier. So tell me a little bit about some of the community service that you've done and maybe if you've done some with FFA and how you plan to continue that in the future.
This is something within my county. We have our county fair. It's called the Southeastern Youth Fair within Marion County, and we have an ambassador program. So it's a youth ambassador program where we volunteer our time as students. We have to maintain a certain GPA. We have to maintain certain grades, all while demonstrating this good role of like leadership and charactership. Basically, we wear these red polos, they're bright red, and we go around the whole entire fair. But within this role, we help people out around the fair. Like, there's a lot we do. Whenever it's check-ins, weigh-ins, I help kids calm down if they're terrified if their animals aren't going to make weight or not. I like to help them calm down because I don't think anybody should be stressed on that day. Everything should sail through. And most likely, within that program, that was one of the programs that got me, the ambassador program, it got me back into FFA. I started out doing FFA because of it, but it helped me stay focused within that spot. Then another thing, my ambassador coordinator, she's one of the main reasons I got back. Her name's Miss Ashley. When I didn't believe in myself, she did. She also knew that one of the biggest things about me, I love helping out, I love giving back. Like when I came over here, for example, I want a middle school in my county to get an FFA program because I know it gives back, I know it helps back. So within that program, basically, I just help my community thrive. Whenever my community is thriving, I feel like I can do better as myself, knowing that I help them do better. And honestly, it is within FFA, but even in FFA or not, I love to give back. And FFA is it's like having a patch on you. It's like having a tattoo or something, because it's still, that's your emblem. That shows you. It shows that you are willing to help out others. And one of my biggest things, even if I don't benefit from it, as long as somebody else does, I'm glad. I know that FFA has helped me in many ways, and I know they can definitely use the help from it.
Absolutely. So do you want to do something agriculture-based in your future?
I do. So the lady that got me into all of this, she's inspired me to so many levels, because I would have never seen myself sitting in this position. Like, if you asked me in 7th grade, I would have looked at you so crazy. But I do see myself going back into the agriculture, into the field mainly. I realized that day by day we're losing more farmers. So if I can help give back, I need to help put food on the table. I need help put clothes on the table, whatever it is. There's a lot of people that I realize don't know about agriculture. They don't realize how big of a part of it is in our life. I also want to say advocate, but I want to advocate for agriculture to let people know the true meaning behind it, why agriculture is important. Because even though you may not know about it, all you may think of is animals, dirt, all that nasty stuff. You don't really truly realize agriculture is the backbone to our lives. Every single thing that we do, from this corduroy jacket that I wear, probably down to the shoes on my feet, it comes from agriculture, and we need it. I plan to either be an agriculture teacher or to become a rancher.
I also am super passionate about giving back to my community, and I think that it's so inspiring to see that, it's not just me, that there's a generation and a line of people who are really wanting to give back.
It may only be a couple kids, but it's a couple voices, and that's all it really takes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will say, at the end of every single podcast, we give our guests the last word, an opportunity to say something to our listeners. So if there's anything you would like to say to them.
So basically, there's a quote. If you watch Temple Grandin, you know this. There's a scene where she said a door opened, and I went through it. I see that as an opportunity. If there's an opportunity for you that you may think you're terrified of or scared of, I say take it. If there's a dark door that you're terrified of walking through, I say go through it, because those are your brightest opportunities that lay behind it. All I have to say is, just because you don't believe in yourself, that doesn't mean that there's nobody out there that doesn't. And remember, you have one big person always watching over your shoulder who will always believe in you. You have to believe in yourself as well. You have to love yourself in order to get through. And FFA can get you through.